Look at where your dog is sleeping right now. Not that they're sleeping near you exactly where, because behavioral researchers have mapped the precise positions dogs choose when they sleep beside their humans. Chest, foot of the bed, back to back, by the pillow, under the blanket, in the doorway, the far corner of the room. 7 distinct positions, and each one translates to a specific attachment style and a specific trust level on a scale of 1 to 5. A 2024 paper in Scientific Reports Koskela and colleagues at the University of Jyväskylä in Finland, sample of 29 cooperative breed dogs tracked heart rate variability between dogs and owners overnight. They found something unusual. The dog's overall HRV was the single strongest predictor of the owner's HRV, not the other way around. Sample size is small, the authors flag it themselves, but the direction is clear. Where your dog sleeps isn't just warmth, it's co-regulation. In the next 18 minutes, I'm going to teach you the bed map method. 7 positions, 4 attachment styles, 1 language about 15,000 years old. By the end, you'll read your own dog tonight like you've been doing it for years. Comment the position your dog is in right now, number 1 through 7. I'll read every single one. Let's start with the position most dogs choose first, and most owners misread last. Position 1. Chest lock. This is Shen. At 11:14 p.m. He didn't walk to the foot of the bed tonight. He climbed onto Andre's ribcage, set his chin just under the collarbone, and exhaled. Within about 45 seconds, his breathing slowed to match Andre's. I've watched this hundreds of times. I still don't take it for granted. Here is why this matters, and why it isn't just a warm dog being warm. In 2024, Koskela and colleagues at the University of Jyväskylä published a paper in Scientific Reports sample of 29 cooperative breed dogs, measuring heart rate variability between dogs and their owners overnight. The dog's overall HRV came out as the single strongest predictor of the owner's HRV. The sample is small, the authors flag it themselves, and the effect is breed-specific, but the direction is clean. When your dog settles on you, the regulation runs from them into you. Layer that with Nagasawa and colleagues, 2015. In science, the oxytocin gaze loop. Mutual eye contact between dogs and owners triggers oxytocin release in both, in a positive feedback loop. Touch on the chest does the same job, hands-free. On the bed map, chest lock is the highest trust position your dog can choose. In the Solomon 2019 attachment framework, 4 styles, the same model used in human-infant research, chest lock maps to secure attachment with maximum proximity seeking. Throat, rib cage, and pulse, all within reach of their muzzle, the most defended parts of a human body. Your dog is not claiming territory. They are co-regulating a nervous system. Is your dog on your chest right now, or close to it, paw on your arm, head on your shoulder, rib cage pressed against yours? If yes, you already know what position 1 feels like. Now you know what it is. Position 2, foot anchor. For a long time, I would have read this exact movement as rejection. Andre falls asleep first, Shen is on his chest, and then sometime around 2 a.m., Shen slides down, settles by Andre's feet, and turns to face the door. Almost every dog owner I talk to admits the same quiet 2 a.m. thought. Does my dog still love me? Here's what the data says is actually happening. In 2020, Kinsman and colleagues published a cohort study in animals more than 4,000 dogs in the UK, tracking where dogs choose to settle relative to their humans overnight. The finding was simple and important. Dogs actively choose proximity. Foot of the bed is not what's left over when the chest is taken. It is selected. Layer that with Topal and colleagues, 1998, in the Journal of Comparative Psychology, the strange situation procedure adapted for dogs. The same test psychologists run on human infants. Dogs show a clear secure base function with their owners. They use the human as the safe point from which they monitor the rest of the room. On the bed map, position 2 is the secure guardian variant. Trust, 4 out of 5. The dog is still on the bed, still on you, just at the opposite pole. Head pointed at the entrance, paws braced. They are not walking away from you. They are putting themselves between you and the door. Foot of the bed is not distance. It is the watchtower. If that's your dog right now, comment position 2 below, number 1 through 7. I want to see the split. Position 3, back to back. This was 5:42 inches the morning. Shen had been on Andre's chest at midnight, foot of the bed at 2 a.m., and now spine to spine, neither facing the other. Both completely still. If you've ever woken up like this with your dog, you know the feeling. It is not affection performed. It is something quieter than that. Recall Koskela and colleagues, 2024. Scientific Reports, the heart rate variability paper, sample of 29 dogs. Their finding was that dog HRV predicts owner HRV overnight. Layer that with Nagasawa and colleagues, 2015, in Science, the oxytocin gaze loop. Spinal contact, like chest contact, runs the same hormonal circuit hands-free. Now add this. In 2018, Hoffman and colleagues published in Anthrozois a survey of roughly 962 adult women in the United States. They compared dogs, cats, and human partners as bed companions. Dogs scored higher than human partners for both comfort and security. Not equal, higher. On the bed map, back-to-back is secure partner. Trust, 4.5 out of 5. Spine is the most exposed line on a dog's body, almost no defensive muscle. Vital organs directly beneath. Choosing to point it at you, while you sleep, is the same thing two soldiers do in a foxhole. You watch my back, I watch yours. Back-to-back is not distant, it is partnership. Andre wakes, doesn't move. Why would he? Position 4, pillow crown. This is the position that gets people the most nervous emails. Vets, in-laws, the dog trainer down the street, all of them tend to say the same thing. The dog on the pillow thinks it's the boss. The dog on the pillow is dominating you. The dog on the pillow needs to be put back in its place. None of that is true. In 1999, L. David Mech published in the Canadian Journal of Zoology. He is the wolf biologist whose 1970s work created the modern alpha dominance model in the first place. In that 1999 paper, and again in a 2008 follow-up, Mech publicly retracted the model. His own words, "In natural wolf packs, there is no alpha. There are parents and their offspring. Dominance hierarchies were an artifact of captive groups of unrelated adults." Read that again. The biologist who invented the theory took it back. Layer that with von Holt and colleagues, 2017, in Science Advances. They identified WBSCR17, a hypersociability gene region. Dogs carry it. Wolves do not. Dogs are not failed wolves trying to climb your social ladder. They are a separate species, built for proximity. On the bed map, pillow crown is secure equal. Trust, 4 out of 5. Head next to head means shared sensory field. Same breath, same temperature, same microsounds. It is bonding, not a bid for status. This isn't dominance. There's no such thing in dog psychology. So why do dogs want to be this close to a human's head? The answer is 15,000 years old. 15,000 years. That's roughly the lower bound on how long dogs and humans have been sleeping near each other. The bed map you're learning tonight is not a framework I invented in 2024. The framework is new. The language is not. In 2018, Janssens and colleagues published in the Journal of Archaeological Science a re-examination of the Bonn-Oberkassel double burial in Germany. 2 humans, 1 dog, about 27 to 28 weeks old. The dog had distemper. Its teeth and jaw show the disease tracked it for weeks. In the late Pleistocene, with no medicine, a sick puppy was a dying puppy. The humans cared for it anyway, for an estimated 5 weeks, while it was dying. They knew. They did it anyway, and when it died, they buried it inside the grave, not beside. Inside with one of their own. Layer that with von Holt and colleagues, 2017, in Science Advances, the WBSCR17 hypersociability gene region. Dogs carry it, wolves do not. Whatever happened in that grave, it had been happening biologically, behaviorally, for thousands of years before it. The bedmap method you're learning tonight is built on top of a language you have been reading badly your whole life. Now we're going to fix the half you've been getting wrong. Position 5. Under blanket tuck. This was during a thunderstorm. Chen pushed himself completely under the comforter, turned in a tight circle, and ended up with only his nose poking out about 2 centimeters of black against the white sheet. That's 3/4 of an inch. He stayed there until the storm passed. Then he came back out. Now, if you have only ever seen this position, you might be hearing a familiar verdict. Anxious dog, insecure dog, needs more training. Half right. Recall Topal and colleagues, 1998, in the Journal of Comparative Psychology, the strange situation procedure. Dogs use their human as a secure base. Den seeking under a blanket near that human is a textbook secure attachment behavior in the right context. It is not, by itself, anxiety. Layer that with Wiseman Orr and colleagues, 2006, in the American Journal of Veterinary Research, their work on canine health-related quality of life. Their core principle is one I want you to keep for the rest of the video. Behavior is read in context, never in isolation. The same behavior across different triggers means different things. On the bed map, under blanket tuck is secure den seeking. Trust, 5 out of 5, but only with a trigger attached. Storm, fireworks, a new house, A loud guest. Den seeking with a trigger is sensory buffering next to a secure base. Den seeking with no trigger, every single night, for weeks that is a different reading. Always under the blanket, or only during storms? The answer is the difference between position 5 and a vet visit. Which brings us to your vet. If you have ever had a vet tell you co-sleeping is bad, they are not making it up. Patel and colleagues, 2017, in Mayo Clinic proceedings sample of 40 adults. When a dog was on the bed, sleep efficiency dropped to about 81%, plus or minus 7. P-value, 0.003. Smith and colleagues, 2014, in Anthrazos, sample of 10,128 people. Co-sleeping with dogs was linked to longer sleep onset and waking up more tired. P-values, 0.029 and 0.025. So the trade-off is real. Here's what changes the math. Now Hoffman and colleagues, 2018, Anthrazos, roughly 962 women in the United States. Dogs scored higher than human partners for both comfort and security. Not equal, higher. Your vet is right about sleep efficiency. They are not wrong about the data. What they often miss is the trade you are already making, with full information, for comfort and security. Next week, 5 positions Shen picks when Andre leaves the house. Subscribe so the bed map method keeps decoding. Position 6, doorway guardian. There have been nights Shen doesn't come up to the bed at all. He walks to the bedroom door, lies down across the threshold, and sets his head on his paws pointed inward, pointed at Andre. For a long time I read this as, he's mad at us, or he wants out. Neither is correct. Recall Patel and colleagues, 1998, in the Journal of Comparative Psychology, the strange situation procedure. The dog uses the human as the secure base from which the rest of the room is monitored. A dog can perform that monitoring function from on the bed, at the foot of the bed, or at the threshold of the room. Different vantage points. Same secure base anchor. Layer that with Kinsman and colleagues, 2020. Animals. The UK cohort of more than 4,000 dogs. Their finding holds. Where a dog settles in relation to its human is a choice, not an accident. On the bed map, doorway guardian is secure perimeter. Trust, 4 out of 5. The body sits at the boundary of the room. The head points inward toward you. That single detail is what separates perimeter trust from avoidance. An avoidant dog turns its head out. A guardian dog turns it in. Doorway is not avoidance. It is perimeter trust. But what if your dog used to be on your chest, and now they are in the doorway? Or worse, what if they are not in the room at all? Position 7, far watch. This is the position I almost did not include in this video. It is the one most owners message me about, in shorter sentences, late at night. He used to sleep on my chest. Now he sleeps across the room. Is something wrong? Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is yes. The bed map can tell you which. 4 studies. Stacked. Salvin and colleagues, 2010. In the Veterinary Journal, about 14.2% of dogs over 8 years old show signs of canine cognitive dysfunction. Only 1.9% are ever diagnosed. Roughly 87% of cases go unrecognized. Anderson and colleagues, 2018. In Scientific Reports, osteoarthritis prevalence in UK dogs runs around 2.5% per year, mean age at diagnosis 10.5 years, on the order of 200,000 new cases annually. Belshaw and colleagues, 2020 owners, consistently notice subtle behavioral shifts in their senior dogs before veterinary teams do. Less jumping, fewer stairs, no longer climbing onto the bed. And recall Wiseman Orr and colleagues, 2006 behavior is read in context, never in isolation. On the bed map, position 7 is context critical. If this is a new dog learning your home, a recent rescue, a recent move, far watch is secure developing. Trust 2 out of 5, climbing, normal, give it weeks. If this is the dog who slept on your chest for 6 years and 1 night, without explanation, move to the corner, that is a different reading. That is not a feeling. That is a signal worth a vet visit. If your dog has slept beside you for years, and one day they do not brush it off. Behavior is the only language they have, so save the next list. You will need it. 4 sleep position warning signs. 1. Sudden position change within days, not weeks. 2. Stopped jumping onto the bed at all possible osteoarthritis. 3. Restless overnight repositioning, multiple times possible cognitive decline. 4. Loss of a long-established proximity habit, possible pain, illness, or environmental stressor. Tap Save to keep this list. If even one of these matches your dog in the last 30 days, book the vet visit. Not next month, this month. The bed map method, in 1 frame. 7 positions. Chest lock, foot anchor, back to back, pillow crown, under blanket, doorway guardian, far watch. 4 attachment styles, drawn from Solomon's 2019 work, mapped to a truss ladder from 1 to 5. One rule that holds across all of it. Same position, different context, different meaning. Your dog isn't picking the couch tonight, or the floor, or the warm patch by the radiator. They are picking a position. That position is a sentence in a language about 15,000 years old. The framework is new. The language is not. And now for the first time, maybe you can read it. Tonight at 2:47 a.m., Shen will pick a position. I don't know which one yet. Andre doesn't either. But neither of us will be guessing what it means. So here's tonight's assignment. When you lie down, don't look at your phone. Look at your dog. Which position? Tell me in the comments. Number 1 through 7. I read them. Next week, the bed map method continues the 5 positions your dog picks when you are not home. Subscribe so it finds you. Tonight, just look. The language has been waiting.